What if I told you that the fate of an entire nation's elections, the winner, the loser, the protest, the peace or chaos, rests in the hands of just 11 people? Yes, 11 individuals sitting in Yaoundé behind closed doors have the final say over who becomes president, whose candidacy is valid, and what official result the world sees. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode and welcome to the world of Cameroon's Constitutional Council, the most powerful but least understood institution in our electoral system. Let's start at the beginning. The Constitutional Council was created in Cameroon's constitution with the job of making sure that elections are regular, solving legal conflicts between state institutions, and proclaiming the final elections results. Sounds neutral, right? Like a referee, if you want to use the example of football, because that's what Cameroon is known for. But at the same time, like a referee in a football match. But here is a twist. This referee is appointed by the same team that has been playing and winning for the past 43 years. The council is supposed to be independent, but the way it is structured tells a different story. The Constitutional Council is made up of 11 members. These are not random people that are picked up from the streets. These are seasoned judges, lawyers, former ministers, professors, people with serious credentials. But here's the key, okay? All 11 members are appointed by the President of the Republic through a presidential decree. Before we even dig deeper into this, okay, let's see who these people are. Of course, we have Clement Atangana, who is the president of the Constitutional Council. And the other 10 people, these are people who are either newly appointed or they have renewed mandates or they've had renewed mandates between 2024 and 2025. And we are talking about Monique Olui Dongo, who was appointed on April 8, 2025, replacing the late Emmanuel Bonde. We're talking of Adolphe Minkwa. She was appointed on April 5, 2024, replacing the late Joseph Owona. Aaron Lockmore Mbelek, appointed April 5, 2024, replacing the late Marie Bipom. Joseph Marie Bipom, yeah, that's the name. We're talking of Florence Rita Are. Mandate was renewed on April 5, 2024. Emile Esombe, whose mandate was renewed April 5, 2024. We are looking at Paul Nchoji Nkwi, whose mandate was also renewed April 5, 2024. Jean-Baptiste Bascuda, whose mandate was renewed April 5, 2024. So all the people whose mandates were renewed, the people who are existing, and the new ones replaced people who had passed away. We are talking of Ba Umaru Sanda, whose mandate was also renewed April 5, 2024. Charles Etienne Lekene Dongfak, whose mandate was also renewed April 5, 2024. Amadou Tijani, mandate renewed April 5th, 2024. All these people are people who are appointed by Bia's presidential decree. The Constitution says these people are nominated. 3 of these people are nominated by the President. 3 are nominated by the President of the National Assembly. 3 of them nominated by the President of the Senate. But in reality, all of these nominations must go through the President's pen. So if one man signs all the appointments, how independent can they really be? That is the question. These members stay in power for 6 years with a renewable mandate, as we just saw listed above. And their job is to interpret the law. But during elections, they are the final court of appeal. No one, not even the Supreme Court, can overturn their decisions. During presidential elections, the Constitutional Council becomes the ultimate judge. They are the bosses. They decide who can run and who cannot run. They listen to complaints from political parties and from the candidates. They declare whether the election was regular. And finally, they proclaim the official results. These are their main key roles. Once they speak, it is done. Their word is final. No appeal, no Supreme Court, no going back. That is how firm this thing is. That means if your candidate is wrongly disqualified, or if ballot boxes disappear, or maybe the numbers do not add up, the council has the last word. Let's take a real example in 2025. The council upheld the exclusion of a major opposition figure, of course, Kamto here, from the presidential race, right? Many international observers called this decision questionable. We even had riots in places. People protested in Douala and Yaoundé about this and other parts of Cameroon. But legally, there was nothing anyone could do. Because once the Constitutional Council rules, that is it. That is how important these guys are. I am emphasizing this. Now you might be asking the question, okay, but can the people or the candidates challenge the council? The answer is yes, they can, but only briefly and under tight control, right? Candidates and parties have just a few days after the elections to file complaints. The council must quickly review these complaints and then they make their final decision. So far, we've seen that since the elections, there's been at least 11 petitions that have been submitted to the Constitutional Council challenging the 2025 presidential elections. However, what becomes of these petitions, again, still lies in the hands of these 11 people. That is the point. But let's look at ordinary citizens. Ordinary citizens, there is really no direct legal path to overturn the Constitutional Council. The only option left are political, and we're talking about peaceful protests, pressure through civil society, seeking international attention, or challenging or campaigning again for a change to make sure that the council doesn't have this much power. These are the things that the people like you and I can do. But hey, this is the billion francs CFV question. Is the Constitutional Council truly an independent referee? Or is it the goalkeeper, the referee, the scoreboard operator, all at the same time and all on the same team? All these key people on the same team. Many Cameroonians suspect that the council is waiting for one wrong move, one technicality, one slip from the opposition, so that they can use this as a laissez-passer to legitimize the predetermined results. That's what many people are thinking. And if that is true, then the game was already decided upon long before we even started casting our votes. In a democracy, institution like the Constitutional Council should protect the vote, not protect the powerful. That's the expectation. But in Cameroon, the structure of the council gives enormous power to the presidency, leaving the people with little recourse. That is why it is important to understand how the Constitutional Council works. This is not only for lawyers or for journalists. It is important for every citizen who wants their vote to matter. It's important for them to understand the Constitutional Council. We are talking about 11 people, one council, one signature that appoints all of them. When they speak, the Constitution obeys. The question is, are they speaking for the people? Are they speaking for the law? Or are they speaking for the regime? If we want change, it begins with understanding the system and demanding accountability from those who hold the pen. Yes. Again, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe, because we're going to do more deep dives into the structures that shape our political system to the best of our knowledge. Because in Cameroon, power doesn't always sit where you think it does. That is a fact. And yeah, we have a recent update as of today. I read online, again, credit goes to Mimi Mefu, that the post-electoral litigation will begin on Wednesday, the 22nd at 11 a.m. at the Yaoundé Conference Center. So we see that even though we were told, again, based on the elections that were held on the 12th, with the expectation, as the Constitution states, is that the results will be declared, will be proclaimed on the 27th. So most Cameroonians are expecting to see the results proclaimed on the 27th. But with the way things are going, apparently, if they are meeting already on the 22nd, which is on Wednesday, it just might be possible that the results get proclaimed on Thursday. So we don't know. As we say, impossible n'est pas camerounaise. But Yeah, that is our Constitutional Council. That is, again, based on what I could find, some of the research that we could do to see, just so that we can help you understand who these people are, the people that are making the decisions, right? We can see that if you're following Issa Chiroma's page, after everybody, like you and I, from observation, we see that the numbers, the PVs that are coming. And again, I had a quick question. Procès-verbal, is there no translation to this word in English? I'm just wondering, again, we'll call it PVs or procès-verbal. Let me know in the comment section if you know how these are called in English for anybody who doesn't, the people who don't speak French, right? So based on what he's receiving, he's publishing it based on what he's getting, we still see that his numbers are way higher as opposed to the people that are posting for the opposition, sorry, for the ruling party. So there is a lot of information out there. There is a lot of coming through information that needs to be done. The people have their expectations. The people are looking at the numbers they have in hand. But you're just from listening, this information will only make sense. We only get to know the legal results when the Constitutional Council speaks. All right. And that is where everybody is at. All right. We are putting numbers together. We are looking at how things are going. This is what the people in this station said. At this point, even, it has already gone past the level where you contest. Because if they are sitting in, petitions have been sent in, we have not heard, excuse me, we have not heard what actions have been taken based on the petitions that have been submitted. Some of these petitions came from opposition parties that also ran for the elections. Some of the candidates of the presidential candidates that were in the opposition have filed some of these petitions, but we do not know what is going to happen. We do not know what to expect. We have not been told what the Constitutional Council has ruled out. And as I said earlier on, their word is law. If they come out and say, hey, this is what we are looking at, these are the results that were submitted to us by the counting committees and everywhere from Elecam and all of that, and our role here is to read out these results to you, and this is what we have. If they proclaim results that the people see based on their own observations and the numbers that they got on the ground, and they see that these results do not align, what can the people do after the Constitutional Council has spoken? We all know that their word is law, based on what I just told you. And based on the Constitution, what is left for the people to do? It's peaceful riots. It's about checking to see, like, hey, this is not what we put in, and where can these peaceful riots take us? Can these peaceful riots against what the Constitutional Council has ruled out, can these peaceful riots turn things around? Is a question. The billion franc CFA question, as I said. But yep, let's wait and see what happens. Our eyes are open, our ears are on the ground. We are listening, we are watching, we are getting updates from the people on the ground, international media. And again, shout out to you, all independent journalists. Again, most of this information is coming from you people who have people on the ground. And I do appreciate you a lot because you guys are feeding me with so much information that I use to be able to make videos like this. Thanks again. And let's see what happens in the next couple of days. But as for the Constitutional Council of Cameroon, that's all I have to say about that. Thank you.